Talking Podcast. I'm JJ Starr.
And I'm Downtown Andy.
Welcome. We're here to talk and bring some civil discourse to an otherwise discordant world. It's Thursday. This is remarkably early for us.
Well, for us it's Thursday. For them it's Tuesday.
But we're recording on a Thursday as opposed to like a Monday night or a Tuesday morning.
Yeah.
So how you doing?
Folding laundry.
Yeah, folding laundry.
Watching Christmas movies.
What a time to be alive. Some good stuff.
Enjoying our day off.
Yeah. And while we're at it, we have 3 rules, right? 3 simple rules for the sake of civility. No judgment, nothing personal, and don't be a dick.
Feliz Navidad.
Feliz Navidad. What do you want to talk about?
What do I want to talk about?
What do you want to talk about?
Boy, what do I want to talk about? I'm fresh, I am clean, and I'm ready to go.
Okay.
That's right. So, within the last couple of months, you turned me onto a podcast called How Did This Get Made?
Love it.
Now, when I talk to people about this podcast, they confuse it with how it's made. You know, the show that teaches you how things are made in factories.
Yeah, like how, yeah.
Oreo cookies, bicycles, ships, I don't know.
Yeah.
So anyway.
Nuts and bolts.
So you told me that this podcast reviewed movies in the sense of like, how the hell did this thing get made? You know, how did this get greenlit?
Yeah.
And
how is this okay?
Right. And so in my time at work when I'm looking for things to have as background noise, I just started going down the list, and then eventually I started searching for movies that they reviewed that I had seen.
Right.
Because there's a lot of stuff on there they've talked about that I've never even heard of, let alone...
Same, but, movies that I know exist.
Now, you have an affinity for the hosts. Like, you like them as actors, and...
I think I was introduced to Paul Scheer and Jason Mantzoukas via The League.
And I was introduced to June Diane Raphael because you made me watch Grace and Frankie.
Because she is...
hilarious.
She is one of my favorite human beings. Yeah. I still hope to play her in the movie of her life one day, and I hope that she will reciprocate and do the same for me.
That'd be fantastic.
But yeah, it's one of those podcasts that I listen to.
Yeah, before I tear it apart, tell the audience what you like about it.
I love everything about it. Like, even when they are reviewing.
Nuclear.
Shut up, nuclear. Even when they're talking about movies that I grew up with or movies that I really do enjoy. Like, I think one of the first episodes I ever listened to was, 2015 or something like that. And they reviewed the movie Ladybugs with
it's only been out for
Rodney
a couple of
Dangerfield.
Years, right? Like,
oh, no.
Because when I was scrolling through, I could only get up to, 2022,
I'm pretty sure this started in 2010.
Oh, really? Okay.
Oh, yeah. No, it's been going on forever.
So, Ladybugs?
Yes, and Ladybugs was a movie that I grew up watching because my sister played soccer, so it was a soccer movie.
Oh, that's right. You told me about this.
And it was so hard to listen to because I'm like, I love this movie, but it was so funny because it's things that I never really thought about when I was a kid.
And they're just picking it the fuck apart, right?
But it's funny. It's comedy.
I get that part of it.
Do you?
And when I talked to you about it, I had to remind myself, I'm like, okay, they're doing this for entertainment purposes. Like, some of these episodes they do live on stage.
Yeah.
Most they do in the studio. But they're saying the things they're saying for comedic effect.
Like, I think about when, you watch, a stand-up comedy, and they say something and the audience groans. They say, they make a joke and you just hear, oh, and it's just like, oh, come on. I'm like, it's a fucking joke. So it's like everything, you take it with a grain of salt because it's just comedy. These are comedians.
I want to say that I hate this podcast. I want to be able to say that I dislike the way they pick apart everything, especially the movies that I've seen and enjoyed. Like, I've listened to their episodes of Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat.
In your heart of hearts, you have to realize are ridiculous movies.
Poorly made? Sure. But I love them.
It doesn't mean you can't love them.
Judge Dredd, Jingle All the Way.
You think about, though, have you ever gotten through an entire episode of this podcast?
Yes.
So you realize that they get to the point where they're like, would you recommend watching this movie? And 9 times out of 10, they're like, oh, God, yeah.
9 times out of 10, the ones I've reviewed, they're just like, no, this is god-awful. Because, obviously, Jingle All the Way, I mean, like, halfway through, they're like, it's a kid's movie. Well, then why are you reviewing it if it's a kid's movie? You're not kids anymore.
But think of the thing, as a kid's movie, let's take Jingle All the Way, for example.
Like,
as a kid's movie, there is a bomb threat in this movie.
Rightfully so.
Okay. But, you're talking about this as a kid's movie?
Like, they said that Sinbad didn't even have a kid. They're just like, he just wants the toy for himself because of his crappy childhood.
You can't prove that he has a kid in that movie. There's no proof that he has a kid in that movie.
As a postal employee, I can sympathize with the man.
So you're saying that all postal employees are honest.
Inner children.
They're so honest, right?
Fuck no.
Yeah, exactly. No, it's comedy. It's comedy.
I know it's but
and every time you're just like, I don't think I can keep listening to this. I'm like, then fucking
don't. But then, yesterday,
okay,
I get to the Fast and the Furious.
The first one.
The first movie in the franchise.
Because they do go through all of them.
Not all of them. They go through most of them, but not all. Maybe they go through all of them. I don't know. I saw they did 6. They did 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. They did Hobbs and Shaw.
To my knowledge, they do all of them.
Right.
Throughout the course,
I
didn't
see 2 through 5. I would have loved to have listened to the one they did on 5, because I like 5.
Okay.
And I like 1. But the funny thing is that out of all the movies I just mentioned, the most praise they gave was to 1. Okay. They're just like, fuck Mortal Kombat, fuck Street Fighter, this is ridiculous, this is hokey. The Fast and the Furious is of course they picked apart, like, the bit about, $6 million in VCRs and DVD players, like, did they think 20 years from now they're still going to be making these movies? But at the end of it, they're just like, 10 out of 10. Absolutely would recommend this movie. And I'm just like, they called it like almost an indie flick.
Yeah.
Considering the amount of, like, production and storytelling and everything compared to the jumping out of planes and going into space that takes place 20 years later.
Yeah.
But just, I just want to...
I think that you are sensitive to it because you have an emotional investment in a lot of things, and
I do.
You have a very hard time with anyone who would dare pick apart or pick on something that you hold near and dear.
I have absolutely no problem with people picking on. Sure, that I'm used to. Okay, but the choice, the things that they choose to pick apart in these movies
for the sake of comedy.
Exactly, the things that they notice, because, like, once you start watching movies as an adult and you've seen it, like, so many times, you start to look for things in the movies that you didn't see before. You start looking around the frame, and you start looking at things in the corner, things in, the background.
This is standard.
I mean, maybe it's just me, but in general, when I watch anything that I've seen a million times over, it's like, all right, what didn't I notice last time? What didn't I notice as a child?
And I can promise you that you are not probably in the majority on that one.
Really?
Yeah, I can watch movies over and over and over again, and I think it's cool when I catch something that I've never noticed before. For example, this morning, we watched Garfield's Christmas.
Yeah.
Right? And right in the beginning, when he's having his dream, I noticed that they have all these plugs plugged into
the Christmas Story lights.
Yeah. They have all of these plugs and extenders plugged into one outlet, and it cracked me up because I never noticed that before. But I'm certainly not looking around the frame of a movie that I've seen a bunch of times trying to catch things I never saw before.
Like when... I don't think you were the first person to show me Muppet Christmas Carol, but...
But the internet sure showed it to you, didn't it?
What did the internet show?
The internet is the one typically who finds all of these little tidbits.
Oh, no, I found this on my own.
Did you ever see this?
We were watching it, and I see, Beaker flipping off Michael Caine, and I'm just like, what the fuck is that?
I don't know. It's like going back and watching The Little Mermaid and noticing that the priest in the wedding scene has a boner.
Really?
Yeah. It's a little upsetting.
Maybe he's just got a really big, I don't know, whatever.
He's a very small man, and he's got a little winky that's just sort of wiggling around inside his robes.
The universe works in mysterious ways.
It certainly does.
Anyway, but just the what these people decide to pick apart in the podcast, it baffles me. Like I'll be driving along and listening, and then when they start to talk about something in particular, I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, you guys are going off on a 10-minute tangent about this
for comedy.
And they're getting, like, so excited about it. Like, they're getting vocal, they're getting loud, they're getting, animated. And I'm just like, this explains why I've never heard of anything you people have done.
Well, that's not true. You have. You just don't realize that they're a part of it.
I've gone through their filmographies, and there's very little, like, I can't name you anything that Mantzoukas and what's the other guy?
Paul Scheer
have done. I know they've been in the league, and I know you put it on once when we were in the living room, but, like, I can't name anything they've been in.
So, are you implying that this is what people who haven't done film and TV that you personally have heard of must resort to?
No, I'm just saying that, the content of these podcasts leads me to believe that, at least in my circles, they're not necessarily all that well known.
These actors?
Sure.
Okay, and how about the guest actors that they have on there?
That's a totally different story, because that's luck of the draw. Like...
Luck of the draw?
Sure.
What is? The fact that they can score someone like that?
So when they did Fast and the Furious, they had, what the hell's his name?
That's Adam Scott, right?
No, they had, why am I blanking on his name right now?
I don't know.
The guy from Zack and Miri.
Oh, Seth Rogen.
They had Seth Rogen on there. But most of the other podcast guests have been people I've never heard of. Names I don't recognize. I don't even know where they're from or what they do or whatever it is. So, like, but here's the funny thing about the me saying I want to be able to hate them. Mm-hmm. I was listening to the Bathroom Break podcast the other day, and for those who don't know, it's Chris Rabb from CKY and Jackass, and he basically does most of his episodes. He doesn't do it anymore. But he interviews most of the Jackass and people that he's been friends with his whole life and whatnot. And he had Darren Miller on, the original singer from CKY. And Darren Miller used to get a lot of shit in, Facebook and chat rooms and all sorts of stuff. He's like, fuck him and fuck the reasons he left the band and blah, 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 blah. And the interesting thing that he brought up was the fact that people say that they hate somebody, yet they're constantly involved in what they're doing, constantly, like, checking up on them. And I'm like, that brings up an interesting point. Because people do tend to do that. It's like they say that they don't like or they hate somebody or whatever. And you want to think that, like, if you really hate somebody, you couldn't care less what they're doing. You don't keep tabs on them at all. Right?
Well, I want to make a comment right now about people who stalk their ex-girlfriends on social media. Go for it. Like when people stalk their ex-girlfriends on social media. Hint, hint, wink, wink. You know who you are. I am confused about the point you are making, though.
So, like, for example, I don't necessarily hate, like Taylor Swift per se.
Okay.
I don't like her either, but I also don't follow any of her in the news or the media or whatever. Okay. So I guess based on that logic, you could say that I hate her.
That doesn't sound logical at all.
No, well,
I don't think being neutral is the same thing as hating someone.
So, again, while I'd like to say, okay, I don't necessarily hate the podcast, but I hate the things they're saying.
But why?
Because, again, it seems silly to me, the things they're picking apart. The choice that they make in what to pick apart. Like, the most minute details.
Yes, that's the point.
But just that they could go on at length about these things is silly to me, and it's strange, and it's just like, don't you have anything better any better subject matter within this movie to discuss?
Could you give an example of something? For example, if they were to do a movie that you have seen, like Street Fighter, for example, let's take, right? Okay. And you don't like the things that they pick apart, knowing that it is in fact a poorly made, silly movie based on a video game, based loosely, wildly loosely on a video game, okay? Uh-huh. What would you pick apart? What would you have them talk about? That is ridiculous to the point of it makes sense to criticize.
I would have them criticize the fact that there was, like you said, it was loosely on the video game. There wasn't more backstory involved. They didn't really incorporate the characters' like special moves or special powers. They, I don't know, like they were picking apart like continuity problems, and they were picking apart costume decisions and like, you know,
because it's comedy,
and the choice in the act, like in Jingle All the Way, they're talking about, you know, Arnold being the main character, and he's this like one Austrian bodybuilder in the middle of St. Paul, Minnesota, and it's just like,
which is funny. It's making you laugh. Look at you now,
because you're laughing right now.
Because it's funny.
You're funny.
I am funny. I'm a fucking riot.
It's funny why.
But so you're suggesting that they should do more research.
I'm not suggesting they do anything. I'm just saying that the like I've said already, the things they choose to pick apart seem silly to me. And that's, you know, I went through the amount of podcasts yesterday that Spotify would allow me to. Mm-hmm. So I went down as far as it would go. And I managed to, you know, see all the movies in the list. There's really not much more that I want to get into.
You should go into, you should find them online, or go into Apple Podcasts where you can find all of them, because they go back a long
Because a lot
time.
of the movies that are available on Spotify, I either haven't seen, I have no inclination of seeing, and just to sit there, like, when we were coming back from vacation and we listened to that one episode that they did, like, I didn't even know what that movie was. I was just sitting there listening to them talk about, I don't even remember.
I don't think I had seen the movie that they were talking about. I don't think I had. I've listened to a lot of episodes that are movies that I've never seen. Some that I've even never heard of. And then I'll listen to the episode and I'll be like, what? I'll be like, what the fuck? Like, I am tempted now to go watch this movie and be like, oh my God.
Like, to credit them, I would say it's probably a good way to get people to go watch movies.
To watch silly movies?
Well, what they think are silly movies.
Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat are ridiculous movies.
No.
Yes, they are.
Street Fighter, I would say yes. Not so much Mortal Kombat.
Mortal Kombat is a ridiculous movie, in as much as Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is a ridiculous movie.
I would think in terms of it being 1995, they did the best with what they had.
Yes. And it's still silly.
Like, it's not nearly as silly as Mortal Kombat 2. That was just outright silly.
But, like, you look at the things that they've talked about, like, you know, the Breakin' It movies and, you know, the Fast and Furious movies and stuff, because, you know, there are tidbits in here. They do Christmas movies. They do Halloween movies. I should show you some of the Friday the 13th movies and then show you this podcast and just like, come on.
Yeah, show me the one with Warrington Gillette in it.
I don't think they take that one apart.
Oh boy.
No, they take apart things like Jason X. Have you ever seen Jason X?
Jason X.
Where they go to space?
Yeah, I think I've seen bits and pieces.
It is the dumbest movie ever.
I'm not a horror buff, so like
this is not a horror movie.
But I'm just saying, like, I don't have extensive knowledge of the Friday the 13th series. You
don't need extensive knowledge of it.
But see, that puzzles me. The amount of people who were like so dedicated to those franchises, not even just the franchises, but like the genre in general.
First of all, Friday the 13th, the original. Yeah. Okay, let's just
like, is that supposed to be a masterpiece or something?
It's for what it was of its time. It was a scary jump scare slasher movie, and it still is. Okay? Then you get into Friday the 13th Part 2, and it's like, okay, we're developing a story, and we're pulling pieces from the original lore and everything, and we're sort of snowballing it, okay? And then you keep going on, and you get to, you know, these stories that don't, there's no connection to anything. Like, I think it's Friday the 13th Part 7, where they're just, like, they hold, like, a seance, and it's just, like, all of this nonsense, and it's like, well, can we keep this fool out of our house? Friday the 13th Part 8 is called Jason Takes Manhattan. Like, the Muppets Take Manhattan, okay? Where a boat starts off in a lake and somehow ends up pulling into shore on the ocean, on the other side of the nation, where a bunch of school kids get on a boat and they all end up dead when the boat pulls into Manhattan, except for a few of them who randomly start dying, okay? And you're talking, like, the New York City in this movie, okay, is a mixture of the Gotham City from Batman Forever
yeah.
and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the original one, okay? And and all of this shit. And it's nonsense, okay? It is utter nonsense. And it is hilarious. Jason kicks a boy's head clean off his body.
Way to go.
Just goes poof, and the head just goes flying.
Pele
okay?
kick? Is it like a Pele kick?
Yeah, they're just on top of a building, and he just poof. Like, it's ridiculous, okay? Jason X, where they're in space, this bitch literally, as she's being killed and being sucked out of the
airlock
decompression, right? She actually says the line, "This really sucks." Like, these are not horror movies.
Like,
they're slasher movies, but these are not horror movies. These are fucking comedy gold.
There's an example of something they picked apart. When they were talking about Fast and Furious, and they come from the scene where Paul Walker's first car, the green car, gets blown up in the beginning of the movie.
You'll have to excuse me because I don't really remember.
It was one of the earlier scenes where, you know, they drive off to the Chinese restaurant and Johnny Tran confronts them and then blows up their car and they have to walk home.
Okay.
So he's like, "So what was that all about?" And they're just like, they're so like they have nothing better written for this scene than to have him repeat that line. So like, Johnny Tran leaves, and Paul Walker says to Vin Diesel, "What was that all about?" And so he comes back, blows up the car, leaves again, and then so he says it again. "So what was that all about?"
So they're criticizing...
It's a long story.
Yeah, so, you know, I mean, they're not critiquing these movies. They're like, it's more of a, did you catch this? Did you see that? Oh my God, what was up with this? Like, they're not always they're not being serious in their critiques of it. That's why June is constantly talking about people's wigs.
The one thing I've noticed is that, like, especially with her, like, a lot of these are movies she's seeing for the first time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. There have been episodes where she's not on the episode. She's off doing something else and everything. So they'll sometimes have, like, a little video of her, especially at live shows, where she doesn't even watch the movie. They show her the movie poster. She gets an idea of what she thinks the movie might be about and gives her opinion of that. There have been episodes where they're just like, you know what would have made a better movie if they had done this instead of this. And they just go off on it. It's just comedy. Like, I don't take this stuff seriously. I don't. But I enjoy it for the sake of comedy.
It does, you know, aggravate me just a little bit because it's like you are picking apart something that I genuinely enjoy, like, rewatching. And it's just like, fuck you.
Yeah, but are they ruining it for you somehow?
No, not at all.
Then what? Then what's the big deal?
Because I'm literally just listening to this as background noise to try and get somebody else's perspective on something that I like, and it's just they're just sitting there shitting on it.
They're not trying to give you their perspective. They're trying to be funny.
Well, they're not.
They
They're
are
not
actually.
funny.
I
don't know.
You are looking at this through some weird colored glasses.
I sat through a couple episodes of The League. I couldn't.
You don't care.
Yeah, no.
It's funny.
To whom?
To me. Now explain to me why Family Guy's funny.
Because that's like slapsticky comedy.
And The League is like bro comedy.
What constitutes bro comedy?
Where they're just a bunch of friends just sort of ripping on each other. That's what it's about. You wouldn't know because the 2 episodes you sat through, you had your phone in your face the whole time and you're not actually listening to it.
All right, well, after we're done with this, you can show me another episode.
I'll show you the Christmas episode.
Yes!
There you go. I'll find
go.
Christmas episodes,
okay?
I'll show you the Elf on the Shelf episode.
Oh, God.
Okay.
Where do they end up finding it?
Wherever. But yeah, no, I think you take it too seriously, and that's why you are insisting that you don't like it.
I I mean, like, I picked the episodes because they reviewed movies that I had seen, and I wanted to hear what I knew to a degree they're going to pick it apart. They're going to, point
They're
attention.
going to make fun of it.
Yeah, they're going to point attention to this thing and that thing and this person and that scene and whatever. But, I mean, there have been moments in the episodes I've listened to where I'm just like, ugh, like, I just had to turn it off because I'm like, I can't listen to this anymore.
Because you take it too seriously.
I guess, sure, yeah.
Like, did you listen to the episode about Batman and Robin?
No, I didn't see that.
You should find that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, again, while you can say, oh, I love this movie, you have to admit that there are parts of it that are wildly hokey. And some of that adds to the charm of the movie.
I honestly, makes me think of something else. I think somewhere in the past 15 to 20, 25 years is where the transition happened, where we used to get sequels to movies because the originals were good. Like, the originals were so good, like, it warranted a sequel. We need to see where this goes. And the sequels ended up being just as good, if not better.
Okay.
Most of the time.
Yeah.
Okay. Nowadays, and I think you can concur with this, is that a lot of sequels are just made for the sake of making money.
I think that a lot of sequels are not well advised.
Like,
I think that I'm sorry to whoever I'm about to offend. I think Clerks 2 and 3 were a stupid idea.
3, yeah.
I think that Clerks 2 and 3 were both a dumb idea. I'm annoyed at the idea that Kevin Smith is determined to write Dogma 2. It's like, these movies are great.
Oh, he's got Mallrats too in the can.
And that's
already.
just so stupid.
See,
it's like the man is fucking himself over, because it's like he made these brilliant movies and is like, well, what do I do now? And instead of coming up with something, he's like, I have an idea. I'm going to rip on my own movies. And it's like, you have done a poor job.
He's following a trend because that's what people do. They don't create new things. They just expand on already existing intellectual properties, like, because they don't want to take a chance. There
was a moment in time where Disney was just making sequels to their animated films that came out 50 and 60 years ago. They're coming out with, they were like, hey, I have an idea. How about Cinderella 2, The Jungle Book 2? And it's like 102 Dalmatians.
Aladdin 4, Jafar Needs Glasses. Number 1. Number 2.
But, like, that's
Number 1.
Shut up.
Number 2.
No, stop. Is that a Family Guy thing?
It certainly is.
Yeah, and that's stupid. So, then they went off. I'm sorry, what?
You hear that?
Did you say that's why I laughed?
That's a back scratcher.
Yeah, that's the dry air in this house, not a brilliant idea sparking to life. But then they spun off of that, and they're like, "Ooh, let's make everything live action now." It's not live action because most of it is CGI. Yeah. But, they don't come up with original ideas. Pixar movies every now and then are new. But, they had to have Toy Story 2, and then 3, and then 4, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, Finding Dory, Monsters University, and stuff like that. It's like all of these movies didn't have to be made, but it's like you gave it a shot.
But that's geared towards a different audience. Those are for children. Children are going to want to see the sequels because they want to see, they enjoy going to see the kids' movie.
No. Because none of the kids who were like, I want to see Jungle Book 2 were alive when the Jungle Book came out.
All right, that's one instance, but like
same thing with Cinderella.
Every kid who saw Cars wanted to see Cars 2 and then see Cars 3.
And that's fucking fine. But like, a lot of it is just sort of, it's like they didn't need to do this because the movie, the original, was just so near and dear to all of us, and this is why these sequels suck.
So does that mean we didn't need the Santa Claus 2 and 3?
We didn't. We
all
didn't.
Right. Something we agree on.
You didn't. I mean, they're movies and they're fine for what they are, but like, you didn't need them. It's playing off of, something that is near and dear to someone, yes, for the sake of making money.
It's awful. It's terrible.
It is awful. But that's why I don't take something like this podcast so seriously. Even if they're reviewing reviewing, I put in quotes also. If they're reviewing a movie that I really love, a movie that I always enjoyed, that I really enjoy, it's like, okay, I'm a toughen my hide and I'm gonna listen to this, and it's gonna be like watching someone stand-up comedy where someone's just making fun of people.
Well, I mean, like, conversely, like, if I were to listen to an episode they did on a movie I didn't like...
Yeah.
Because theoretically, I'd be agreeing with everything they might say, because if they're tearing it apart, I'm like, yeah, I didn't like that part either. I didn't like that movie. I thought this casting choice was stupid. I thought this scene was stupid. But then I wouldn't really listen to it, because if I didn't like the movie, I'm not going to want to hear somebody talking about something I didn't like.
But that's just it, is that you might go into it being like, oh, good, finally someone to agree with me that this movie was bad. And they might just be picking stuff apart for the sake of comedy. And you're just like, well, this podcast is stupid now because they're not making the correct critiques.
I mean, I don't think I'm going to turn off from it completely. I'm sure that if I'm having a slow day and I need something to, get me going, I'll scroll through and look for something that I recognize. Like, when I'm scrolling through, I see a lot of titles that I recognize, movies that I've seen previews for, commercials for, and whatnot. But, I mean, like, I don't watch a lot of movies as it is now, so, there's really not a lot that grabs my interest when it comes to picking episodes of theirs to listen to.
Yeah.
So...
But, like, it's like I've tried to show you my brother, and me.
Yeah.
And you have said, you're like, I don't find it funny. And I'm like, that's perfectly fine. I find it funny. But, again, I think that you're listening to it with a very critical ear.
I think you're just wrong.
Well, we'll fight about that later.
All right.
But
back
I think that when you are introduced to something new, you address it with a very critical eye and ear. Movies that you have, that you have heard of, but you're like, I never wanted to see it. And it's like, come on, just give it a chance. TV shows are the same thing.
Not always true, though.
No?
You have introduced me to okay, first of all, we've been together for 3 years.
Yes.
You've introduced me to a lot of bands, a lot of TV shows, a lot of movies, a lot of outings, like all things that we've... And I'd say probably 75 to 85% of them I have taken to.
Sure.
Yeah.
But do you, when you are introduced to something that you have heard of and had been set on, I don't care enough to introduce myself to it, I believe that you stand at it with a critique prepared. You are prepared to not enjoy it.
Like, perfect example. Okay, a little bit of that is true. Yes, perfect example. I don't like Jaws. I just think it's dumb. Or not that I don't think. I just, there's nothing interesting about it to me. Like, I just don't care for the movie because I don't care about sharks and I don't care about the story of...
I'm not going to take this personally, just so you know. I'm not. Rule number one.
You can take it personally.
I'm not going to take it personally.
I'm not going to lose sleep over it.
Those poor sharks that you don't care about.
Anyway, but then you wanted to go see The Shark is Broken.
Of course I did.
And you got us tickets, and we went and saw it, and I had a wonderful time.
Yeah.
Because it was... Now, if that were a movie, I would watch that movie.
It was a documentary.
No, but if they took the stage performance that we saw, and that was made into a movie...
Maybe it will be.
I would watch that repeatedly, because it was
that would
hilarious.
Be great. I think it would be great, because I told you, that story is one of my favorite true Hollywood stories about the making of Jaws.
Now,
Hollywood's most colossal fuck fest.
Because I love documentaries.
Yeah.
But I don't...
Yes.
Now, okay, Jaws in particular, what would you categorize... What kind of genre of movie would you categorize that as?
It's a horror movie.
Horror or thriller?
Okay, I'll go with thriller, but
Suspense.
A lot of people die. A lot of people do die gruesome deaths.
Okay.
But would I? Yeah, I would probably go so far as to say thriller bordering on horror. I would.
Like, if we were to sit here and do a how did this get made on Jaws, like, there are a million things that I could pick apart that I would be like, this could be done better.
I mean, there are plenty of things that you can make fun of in that movie. Plenty of things that you can make fun of. Every time we have watched it, I have always... Okay, I don't know if you'll remember it, but because you've watched it over my shoulder a couple of times.
Well, we went to the drive-thru and saw it.
Yes. You did fall asleep a couple of times. But there is
then it must be a horror movie.
There's a scene where the men they're trying to catch the shark, so they go out to the dock like at dawn, right? And they throw the rump roast into the water, and the shark gets it, pulls the chain, and the dock breaks off, and now they're in the water, right? And they're trying to get back to shore, and all of a sudden you see the dock turn around, like the shark is like it's the shark. Now the shark is on what has to be a 50-foot chain, right? 30 to 50-foot chain attached to the dock. The shark, now you're talking that 50-foot, let's go 30 feet, because that's almost about the size of the shark. The shark is like 25 feet in this movie, okay? So the dock turns around, and the dock is what's chasing this man trying to swim back to shore, right? The dock is probably like 20 feet behind him. That shark would already be eating that man. And I have pointed this out every time I've watched it, and I'm just like, this is so silly. I'm like, he would have gotten him by now.
You and I should do like an independent shot-for-shot remake. Just you, me, and the dog.
And there are jokes about, the drinking games, about every time the mayor, you see that the mayor wearing his fucking anchors, his anchor blazer and stuff like that. So it's like, don't get me wrong. There are things that people who love this movie will pick apart and laugh about it.
I mean, I've picked apart things about movies that I enjoy too, but it's just, like, again, getting back to my original statement was their choice in things they choose to pick to just even discuss. It just seems like, again, if I'm sitting there and I'm actually like paying attention while I'm working, it's like, oh my God, why are you still talking about this? But in concluding, I just like to say, like, I said to you, we should do a How Did This Get Made on How Did This Get Made?
And sure enough,
and
right?
you said, you hope that June Diane Raphael, what is it?
Will play me.
Play you.
Play me in the movie of my life.
I hope that if they were ever to get their hands on this, that they decide to do a How Did This Get Made on That Talking Podcast.
That would be
silly bastards.
That would be interesting. That would be very interesting.
Maybe if they were to do that, I'll invest some more time into their careers.
I'm a tweet them and be like, hello, here you go.
And they're going to tell you to get your lawyer on retainer. Just like Kathy and Jimmy.
Listen, when it comes down to it, I love the show. I love these actors. I love their work that I have seen. I love it. I love it. And I don't care that you don't, because you are always going to be entitled to your opinion, despite how wrong it may be.
Hey.
Zing.
No judgment.
No judgment. Nothing
personal. Stop being a dick.
This was a fun one. Did you have a good time? You had a good time.
You.
Want to go eat some turkey?
I have a dentist appointment in an hour.
Oh,
and a half.
you do, don't you? You can't have turkey then. You want to watch me eat?
I just brushed my teeth.
You brushed your teeth 40 minutes ago. You're good to go.
I'm going to have to brush it again if I eat some turkey.
Anyway.
This one was baffled that I was cooking a full turkey at like 8 o'clock last night.
No, I was more baffled by the fact that you,
Bought
Sunday after Thanksgiving, send me a photo of, I bought 2 turkeys, and it's like, why?
Because they were cheap.
That's why you end up getting all that bad beef also.
I paid $14 for 2 17-pound turkeys as opposed to paying the $100 I would have paid the day before Thanksgiving.
That's because Christmas is coming and the grocery store has got to make room for all them hams.
They got plenty of hams.
I'll give you ham.
I'd get a ham if I thought you'd eat one.
I would never eat one.
Well, I guess
you can get a ham all you want, but you'll never get.
I ate a spiral ham to myself once.
In one sitting?
I was gonna say, I'm like, that's savage. I was going shopping in my parents' basement, and there was a ham in the freezer that Mom just didn't get around to cooking, and I'm like, well, if you guys aren't gonna eat this thing, I'm taking it home.
Well, as long as you're happy. As long as you're happy.
It was, yeah.
I love you.
I love you.
Good.
You playing
okay.
footsie with me now?
My feet are cold. Warm me up. Well, this was fun. And we'll see what comes of it. Maybe Maybe this is our in.
I mean, I do.
Maybe this is, excuse me, my in, because I'm on their side.
I mean, I do.
They'll want to be my friend.
I do have a knack for getting.
We're gonna do a How Did This Get Made on you?
For getting celebrities to respond to my Instagram messages.
We'll see what happens.
Celebrities love me on Instagram.
Well, tag them in this one, and we'll see what happens. But this was fun. I had a good time. Thank you for listening to that talking podcast. Find us on social media, DT Andy and JJ Star with 2 R's. And find How Did This Get Made on social media. HDTGM. There you go. That was a rough one for me. My brain just splooged all over itself. Good
You
grief.
do need some turkey. You need some,
I do.
you need some protein.
I need some protein. But yeah, so I got nothing. You got a show coming up on the 21st.
21st
right?
in Wallingford, yes.
Yes, in Wallingford, Connecticut at Cherry Street Station
That's right.
with the Strangers.
Mm-hmm.
Yippee whippy.
Yippee.
And we're gonna come back. We're gonna come back from this stronger than ever.
We're gonna have to pre-record the Christmas Eve one because Christmas Eve is a
Christmas
Tuesday.
Eve is a Tuesday, so
Yeah.
well we're gonna do better.
Unless you want to do it
I vow
live.
now. We'll see.
We'll do it live with the boy.
No.
Well,
we can't do it live with the boy.
You don't think he's ready for
I can't get
podcast
it,
land?
babe. We can't get that kid to talk to us in an empty room. Okay, when he gets older, he can be on the podcast.
Because then we'll have to pay him royalties. And
Exactly.
You know what those are going to consist of.
Yeah, and they're gonna,
Monster trucks
and because he's a minor, his mother's gonna want to cut.
Not a chance. Thank you for listening to that talking
Yes,
podcast.
thank you for listening to that
From the
talking
three of
podcast.
us.
Until next time,
I'm Downtown Andy.
I'm JJ Star.
And we will talk to you later.